And we're back with the Classic Auto Mall show from the Classic Auto Mall studio in Morgantown, PA. Joining us now via Zoom from the West Coast is our friend Keith Martin, publisher of Sports Car Market Magazine. Good morning, Keith. How are you?
Well, I'm just great. How are you?
Doing well. We took a week off for Thanksgiving last week. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving.
We went to a fancy restaurant.
Really?
We let them do all the work. I had the best old-fashioned I'd ever had. I had pecan pie for dessert that I didn't have to make.
Oh, that sounds good.
And all I had to do was give them a credit card and go home and be happy.
You know what? I tell you, the older you get, the more that sounds really, really desirable. Not have to go. We cooked all day, for three of us. We cooked all day the night before. We're doing this. We're scheduling that and worried the turkey's going to be. Oh, it's just it becomes so much work.
And it's good, though. It's your family. It's your friends. Each one has its advantage. For the past couple of years, I've just decided to take all the stress out of Thanksgiving.
Well, and in life in general, just get rid of your stress. Go out and enjoy your car. And what is the old saying? Buy the dress, drink the next second glass of wine, go drive your car, live and enjoy, and don't be so stressed out.
Stewart, I have to correct you. You said enjoy yourself, have fun, drive your car.
Right.
Now, those three things don't always go in the same package.
Well, that's true, too.
And that takes us up to the blog.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me.
Nice segue.
I'm going to skip the destruction derby I did with my 911 for a second, where I backed into the condo wall 4 times.
No, 4 times? Wow. Okay. All right.
Well, two and a half. I'll make it short. What happens with these early 911s? They have a hand throttle.
Right.
Right. And so instead of an idle increase, that's the way. So I got in the car and I hadn't been in that car in a while, and the pedal configuration is just a little different for the gas and the brake. It's a Sportomatic, so there's no clutch. So I fired the car up and I had the hand throttle on just a little bit, and the car started rolling backwards. and I thought, what the? I mean, pardon my language. And this car has this big 5-mile-an-hour impact bumpers on it.
Right.
And so I rolled maybe 10 feet at 2 miles an hour and bumped into the wall behind me. I thought, what the heck is this all about?
Yeah.
Like, has my master cylinder gone out?
Well, it had to be that, because it could not be the lack of driving skills.
It couldn't be the fact that I was pressing on the floorboard instead of the brake pedal.
Yeah, that might have had something to do. It's like a bad, passenger backseat driver, right?
So I turn. I want to go back, across the condo because I have to back out, and I start the car and it creeps forward at 5 miles an hour and goes bump into the thing, and it just I had to stop and look down at my feet and say, okay, foot. Right foot brake.
Right.
There's the brake. Let's practice putting the brake. But the amazing thing, Stewart, was I was prepared to be unbelievably bummed with little dents and nicks.
Oh, yeah.
But those bumpers totally protected the car,
Sure.
and there was a mark on that car.
What they were designed to do, right? That was what they were built for, was to protect your car. The 5-mile-per-hour bumper test that they used to have back in the day. Oh my God! But
I prefer not to test it again.
Are there cameras in your building and in your garage? I'm just curious if we could see any of this.
I disabled those.
Yeah, smashed them with a baseball bat as you left the garage, right? So
so stupid to have the car creeping forward and not. I kept pressing and pressing and pressing, but I was not pressing the brake pedal. I was pressing the floorboard.
Oh my God! Isn't that's a horrible feeling when you think that you're doing something and it's not, the reaction is not happening like it's supposed to happen, and that's a terrible gut feeling because you feel completely out of control.
Yeah. But I survived.
Yeah. And so there's some carpet got bunched up under there a little bit too. That may have had a little.
Yeah, the carpet. I need to get some cocoa mats down there and get it's the original carpet from '75 on the car.
I think you need some cocoa mats and some sheepskin seat covers, and you'll really be just Mr. 70s. Or 80s.
I think you can buy even cheaper covers than sheepskin.
What are they? I don't want to know.
Because Walmart has some that they're just kind of a nice vinyl that goes over the car.
They're just a nice protector. It's like those bros that we used to put on the front of our cars that were so ugly. They were just black.
Ones that destroyed the paint.
Destroyed the paint and looked like crap, but they saved you from rock chips.
From something.
Something, I think. So, and then of course your last blog was "The Pin is Back in the Grenade."
Well, you and I talked a little bit about this, how sometimes bringing a car into service is like breaking a horse.
Yeah.
And with this car, it was because there were different things, the generator, or alternator, sometimes the light would go on, sometimes the light would go off.
Right.
Sometimes the heat would work, sometimes the heat wouldn't work. Sometimes the idle would work. So I knew that I had broken head studs, and sooner or later the head gaskets would start to leak.
Right.
So I was really miserable driving the car because I was just waiting for the next shoe to drop.
Right.
What I've done is, over the course of $20,000 in 3 years, or maybe 25,000, or maybe I don't know, some number. It's gradually we've fixed each layer of thing,
and now it's a great car.
Now it's turning into, on Sunday last week, I was out with the Porsche group here. Mm-hmm. There were 10 997s, brand new cars, right, and my 50-year-old 911.
Really?
And we're all these twisty roads, and I had no trouble keeping up with them, but I was working my ass off.
Right, and they were just leisurely cruising.
They were, I don't know, they were listening to a podcast or
hopefully mine.
but I had to actually hit the apex of the turn. I had to brake early. I had to be. I really, again, it was great fun for me because I'm really busy. But they were just cruising.
Yeah. And there's times when you want to be busy driving and there's times when you want to cruise. You're in stop and go traffic, you'd prefer the cruising side of it. But on a twisty road that's, that you're there because of driving, you're not, there's no mission to get anywhere. You're not got to get to the store and home before dinner time. That's when you want to enjoy a car and enjoy a manual transmission and enjoy hitting the apex of the corner, right, and enjoy all of those things that we all preach and talk about, but don't get to do nearly as much as we'd like to.
I agree. The Porsche Club here puts on usually 2 events a week.
They're not retired or anything, are they?
What I like about the club is they're so busy. And what I've always maintained that with cars, there's value in use.
Sure. Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. And it's better for the car to be used than just to sit. There's no question about that. There's nothing worse than a car just sitting. So the pin is back in the grenade. It's secured, not loose, and won't be coming out soon, right?
Well, here's the question that begs. I prepped this. I fixed this 2.7 to sell it,
right? So
that I could buy a more modern 996 with a Tiptronic in it. But I'm having too much fun.
I say keep it. I say no harm, no foul. And you fixed it under one premise. You're keeping it under another. So be it. There shouldn't be many rules to what we're doing here. It should just.
Do you mean that I have to admit that I've changed my mind?
Yes, I think you have to do that publicly, right here with you and our other 10 or 12 subscribers.
Okay. I thought you said there were 8.
Well, it just jumped up because you came on, and so somehow that magically seems to raise the bar here.
And when I record this, that counts as another one.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'd like for you and all your friends to watch this as many times as you can humanly possible. Watch this over the next, 10, 12 days, and we'll be just fine. Actually, our numbers are really, really good, as you and I discussed.
I know, you were telling me that.
Yeah, it's...
How many did you get for Bruce Meyer?
176,000 for Bruce Meyer, 193 for Spike Ferriston, Jerry Seinfeld's buddy, who's got the Porsche collection, 126,000 on a couple of others. I mean, our subscribers are over 130, almost 140,000 subscribers, and growing about 1,000 a day, which I don't even. When you start talking those kind of things,
how does that relate to your core business?
I don't know. I mean, we're having fun. It's promoting Classic Auto Mall. Does it mean we're going to sell more cars, which ultimately is kind of why we're doing it, or why we started doing it? Let me back up with that. The reason we started doing it is because I thought it'd be fun to talk about cars and have people on and do what you and I get to do every week. And it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. And it's kind of a release valve for me. All of a sudden, we went from 4 years of doing it where we had maybe, 5,000 subscribers. And then in the last year, boom, we go from 5,000 to 137,000. And now it's becoming a thing. But are we seeing more car sales from it? Probably not. We might see a few more eyeballs on what we're doing, and maybe in the long run it will, but we're not seeing a direct connection to it yet. So either this thing's going to start paying for itself, or I'm going to have to, find something else to do.
No, there's certainly a brand awareness, because I hear people talk about Classic Auto Mall.
Right.
So there's something going on. What do they say that 60% of advertising works, but we're just not sure what 60% it is.
That's exactly right. Somebody said, well, you should cut out some of this advertising. You're spending so much. I said, it's working. What should we cut out? Well, I don't know. Well, exactly. I mean, which one do you cut out? If it's working and you're doing well. But, to do this show every week and to get the kind of guests that we're able to get and to have you on is it's not nothing. It's A, a lot of work, and B, it's a lot of fun. And C, we hope that it helps promote our brand and what we do. And we get, nice recognition. I'm speaking next Tuesday at the Madison Avenue Sports Car Driving and Chowder Society, which, I mean, 5 years ago, if you'd asked me, that I would never get invited to that. No, I didn't, I wasn't in that circle of things, but, now we are. So there's certainly some validity to what you said about the recognition side of it. And I love nothing better than to walk onto an airplane with my logo on my hat or my shirt and somebody say, Classic Auto Mall, that'll make you feel good.
I understand.
That makes you feel real good.
Stuart, the challenge we all face is how we get our message across in an internet social media world.
Yeah. And when we're analog people, sometimes life is a bowl of soup and I'm a fork.
I understand. And getting, for my magazine, once the magazine gets into the hands of somebody, they become a subscriber and we have them for life.
Exactly. I think that's
getting a social media kid to a magazine.
Right.
We're figuring it out. We're trying some things and we're starting to get traction. But what a challenge that is. Yeah,
it's very difficult. Same with us here. Once we get people in the door, we kind of got them. We're the same way. Once they open page one or walk through these glass doors to come into Classic Auto Mall, it's hard for them to walk out and not love it, even if they weren't car people or not car people. An older woman who in her late 70s comes in and doesn't think much about cars. Cars aren't really her thing. And she comes in and just goes, oh, my God, there's this and there's that. And there's the car we did this and we grew up with and neighbor and cool kid and all those different things. And so once we get them through the door, I think, we've got them. And I think that's the same with you, is that we have good sauce once you get inside.
Well, so I have one quick question as we wind up here. My place where I store my car is Protect by Mike Christopherson here in Portland. He's having a whiskey tasting tonight.
Oh, that's
and I don't think it's whiskey tasting and then test drive the car.
That's what I was going to say. You might want to, it's like the drive-through liquor store. It's,
Well, I'll never forget going to Tijuana one time. I was in a van full of 6 people, and then we went through a drive-in liquor store and we all ordered margaritas. They just handed us a tray through the car window.
Like when you used to go to Shoney's and they put that tray on your window, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
so do you have social events there?
We do. We have lots of events here, and we have clubs that meet in our meeting rooms. We have car shows that come here, and they're kind of half social, half car show. And we have clubs that will come and bring their 20 or 30 cars, and then they'll have their meeting in one of our rooms here. So we have social events. We don't have parties per se, but we do have a lot of events that are going on here on a pretty regular basis. So.
Well, we'll talk about those next week.
Absolutely. Sounds great. Thanks again for being on the show today, Keith. Everybody, Keith Martin, Sports Car Market Magazine. And we'll be back next week with a new show and hopefully some guests to be determined. We'll see you next week.
Here's a special offer from Sports Car Market Magazine. Get a 6-month subscription for just $19.95 by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive and the number 6. That's sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. If you're a buyer, a seller, or just general classic car enthusiast, publisher Keith Martin says,
we've been around almost 40 years. It's the Wall Street Journal of the collector car world.
Activate your 6-month trial of Sports Car Market Magazine by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. Offers for a limited time. Be in the know with Sports Car Market.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stewart Howden. Available on classicautomall.com, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.